When you're 1-5, and you're trading away a guy of that caliber, does it make you think, man, we're giving up?
I mean, I don't even know how to answer that, but
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But no, if I knew how to run a team, I'll be running one. You know what I mean? I can sit here and say my opinion on a lot of things, but I don't know what plans they have for us upstairs like that, and it's the name of the business.
That's Jalen Richard of the Oakland Raiders addressing reporters yesterday. And if you're watching on NBCSN, you may have noticed hanging in the lockers behind him, I saw a Chargers jersey and a Dolphins jersey. I guess with so many guys being traded, they just keep their new jerseys on hand, Peter. So, hey, if you're gone eventually, here you go. Here's your new team.
Mike, at least Jalen Richard didn't go to the Jalen Ramsey quote board after the game. Because the Jalen Ramsey quote board, Jalen Ramsey would have said, hey, I can't tell you what's going on in here, but look, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. You all know the problem is Blake Bortles, and obviously everybody in that Oakland locker room thinks, of course we're giving up on this year. We're playing for next year. Now, I will say this. I think Oakland did well in that trade, to get a 1 for a guy who over the last year and a half, whatever it is, 22 games, has not been a number one receiver. And to me, I don't know what the issue is. You hear all kinds of stories out of Oakland. Does he love football? Does he really fight for the football? Is he going to be one of those guys, one of those Gruden grinder guys? I mean, those are the kind of things that you start hearing out of Oakland. But then again, I mean, Khalil Mack would have been a Gruden grinder type guy, and he let him walk.
Yeah, but with Cooper, you're right, Peter. He hasn't performed like a number one receiver. And I think to get a first-round pick for him at a time when you are clearly rebuilding makes a ton of sense. It's just another potentially talented player that the Raiders will take into Las Vegas. They have 3 first-round picks now in 2019, and clearly they have given up on this season. And I don't know, is it stunning? I'd like to get your reaction. I was somewhere between surprised and stunned that the players weren't told about the trade by John Gruden himself, that they found out on their phones, and that he won't even address them about the trade until Wednesday. It seems like you could plan it out a little bit better so the coach can break the news to the players and at least get a talking point or two out there that you hope that maybe the players will repeat when being questioned by reporters.
Well, I think the problem there is you're coming off your bye week, and there's really not any way, in my opinion anyway, that they could have done it any differently for a very simple reason. The Cowboys aren't going to keep this under wraps for X number of hours. I mean, the only way you could have done something is if you sent a mass text, a group text to your players and explain to them why you did this. But then somebody's going to leak the text to the press, and I don't know. I don't think they really could have done it any differently. I do think this going forward. Look, the Dallas Cowboys clearly have said that we want to give our young quarterback every chance. There's nobody that's very good in this division this year. We just got officiated maybe out of an overtime and maybe a win in Washington with the bad call, in my opinion, a horrendous call at the end of regulation, on the snap penalty, on the long snapper. And the Cowboys have to be thinking that we can win this division, so we are all in this year. Hey, good for them. I think they overpaid for Cooper, but they're trying.
Well, but I also think, Peter, they are walking into a situation where there will be a ton of pressure on this team. Endless questions about Amari Cooper. Are you using him enough?
Yeah.
Why isn't he getting the ball? How does he fit into the offense? And this is the point I made about Dez Bryant as he continued to wait, and he's still waiting to join a new team. When you have a new team, it's a new city, it's a new coaching staff, it's a new playbook, it's new terminology, it's a new quarterback, it's new teammates. It's the equivalent of changing the tire on a moving car if you try to do this during the season, and the pressure is going to be there because it's the Cowboys with all those high-profile games, with all the reporters covering the team. Where's Amari Cooper? Why aren't they throwing to Amari Cooper? And is that going to affect Dak Prescott when he's trying to make decisions about what to do with the ball? One of the arguments we heard about how Dak can be better this year is he doesn't have to worry about placating Des Bryant, Jason Witten. Now he's got to worry about placating Amari Cooper and everyone out there who will question, why aren't you getting the ball to Amari Cooper?
And look, Mike, here's the other thing I would say about Cooper. You know, he's going to be getting all these questions. The Cowboys are going to be getting all these questions. And I just want you to think of this. You know, I'm going to tell you a couple of the receivers now who've caught more balls than Amari Cooper since opening day 2017. Jermaine Kearse, who switched teams and went to a team that doesn't throw the ball very well with the Jets. Adam Humphries of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nobody even knows who Adam Humphries is. He's a wide receiver who's caught more passes than Amari Cooper. Ryan Grant has caught more passes, than Amari Cooper. My only point is simply this. He's caught 70 balls in the last year and a half, and you're putting him in a position now where everybody is going to expect him to be Julio Jones Jr. If you're getting traded for a one and you're coming in to be the number one receiver on America's team, the focus is going to be uber over what it was in Oakland. And in Oakland, they already were trying to get him the ball all the time. So there is the problem that you're talking about, Mike.
Boy, and I'd love to know, and maybe we'll find out in time, some of the inner discussions that happened with the Cowboys as to whether or not to go through with this. It was very curious that Jerry Jones avoided reporters after the game on Sunday, out of character for Jones to have nothing to say. He had canceled his Tuesday appearance on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas in advance of the trade. And now the trade's done, it'd be interesting to see if he goes ahead and goes through with it, unless there's something else he's trying to keep under wraps. But I can't imagine that everyone was on the same page, that it makes sense to give up a first-round pick for a guy who may not be a number one receiver. And this is going to complicate Jason Garrett's life going forward as he tries to coach this team. Let's keep talking about this Amari Cooper trade from the Raiders to the Cowboys. We've got plenty more PFT Live to come. And I want to look at it also from the financial angle, because Amari Cooper's got a $13.9 million salary for next year. And when it's time to sign him to a contract, it could get very expensive.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.